Tilt the left analog stick slightly and press the X button to run.
So I've been playing Raw Danger.
Hurricane Harvey barreling into the Texas coastline as a
here out in the ocean, and it is pouring now here in Naples.
Well, Ophelia has arrived in Galway, and with her has come...
I need a fucking break from life, dude. And what better way to waste a day ignoring the fact that the entire fucking world has gone to shit than to play some video games? About disasters. Yeah, Irem clearly saw the bank rolling in after the smash hit success that was Disaster Report, or Zettai Zetsume Toshi, as it was called in Japan, that they went and made a sequel called Zettai Zetsume Toshi 2 Itetsuita Kyoku Tachi, or Raw Danger, as it was called over here, which sounds like a gay porno. I am down.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
Sorry for what? Our daddy taught us not to be ashamed of our dicks.
And as such, a sequel, not a gay porno. It has more of the same, but also the bigger and the better just as well. Its story is about, what the fuck? This guy called Joshua, who works as a busty bust boy man slut,
Yeah, I see that.
at a convention center which just so happens to house a celebratory city opening conference. See, the totally not Japanese government, but instead totally American one, you guys, has built this high-tech city underground beneath another city. What could possibly go wrong? Well, tsunamis is what goes wrong, as a levee breaks, this sensual city sandwich gets moisturized proper, putting the entire thing into a state of disarray. Which is where you come in, pushing buttons like
Tilt the left analog stick to walk.
as you try to survive this mess, doing minor puzzles, climbing, and above all, batshit crazy set piecing. Structurally, Raw Danger is quite similar to its predecessors. There's like wide open areas with the main objective, like save person, or reach object, or just dick around until you find something, I guess. And plenty of other items to find, buildings to enter, and people to talk to. The game doesn't so much reward exploration as that its exploration is just the main mode of actually playing the goddamn game. Like, even obvious dead ends can house houses, stores, or crawl spaces, and even the closed doors can be opened more often than not, given that you have the right item on you, which can sometimes be found hours prior, or the right people tagging along. You are also able to climb just about everything, and chances are that if the frame rate crippling render distance allows you to see it, then you can go there. This really is a game about an entire city shitting itself. And so, they've pretty much brought to life the entire thing, separated through loading screens and objectives though it may be, and show it off to you from all kinds of angles via a whopping 6 full-on campaigns. Cause, yeah, Josh isn't the only captain of this ship, as you also get to control the likes of Amber Brazil, a murder suspect on the run. I, actually bumped into her as Josh as well, and casually turned her over to the cops. Or Taxi Driver Guy, who is a taxi driver guy, and a 16-year-old girl who gets chased around by a rapey professor. No, I'm not joking, the game actually fucking goes there, it's weird. Now, while Josh's campaign is the main one, being that it takes up the biggest slice of this 12-hour-long behemoth of a game by far, the other ones aren't exactly side content either, as they all contribute to the main overarching mystery and color in certain events by giving more meaning to the choices what you make. Like how I sent Amber to prison, or how I nearly killed her by flooding the underground, or how Amber herself nearly killed Taxi Man by accidentally exploding a fucking chain of trucks for absolutely no reason. It's pretty fucking cool. All characters have their own main gameplay gimmicks as well, like the abhorrently, disgustingly broken "this guy saw me through a wall" stealth sections with Ambo, or the clearly the game was not built for this level taxi driving, but all in all, they all control very much the same using the basis of this here video game. And what a quality basis this is, guys. Holy shit.
Earthquakes are out, tsunamis are in.
And so, Raw Danger is a game about getting moist. This meter thingy right here shows how wet you are, and this meter thingy right here shows off your body temperature, aka BT. The wetter you are, the colder you'll get, and if you're too cold, you'll start limping, and once you reach maximum moist, you'll start getting dizzy and eventually pass out and die. To prevent this, you can keep warm by heating up at save points, which conveniently always happen to be radiators of some kind, and you're also able to eat hot food to keep thine belly warm, thus giving you a short burst of cold invincibility, and of course you can wear a plethora of dumb-looking clothing to keep you as heated and the bitches seated. There isn't really any health to speak of per se. Dropping from a high height will only damage your clothing, thus putting you at a cool risk, but generally speaking you only have to manage your BT, which is good as holy shit, does it require a fuck of a whole lot of managing. Yeah, real fucking quiet. As I'm sure you were able to hear, the water's fucking everywhere. Bursting through ceilings, shooting up from faucets, rampaging down hallways, crashing out of fish tanks, and of course, falling from the sky. Umbrellas are quite the necessity, as is the fact that you're able to grab onto just to any surface by holding down R1. See, any of the just now mentioned water things can occur at literally any time while playing, and where the water does look questionable, I'd be lying if I said that shit wasn't intimidating as fuck. Seriously, at times the music, your general state, and the trigger-based scripted flooding all come together to create quite some epic scenes. The current is always very noticeable, both on the kinesthetic end, what with the amount of controller resistance you feel, but also because of the floor, the roof above you, or even the objects that one's clinging onto can break off at a moment's notice. Add to that, the fact that you're never not aware of the fact that you only have a single pair of pants on you, no food, and a safe point inside either, and shit really ends up feeling like an epic struggle against the elements in which entire dams can crumble, highways can tip over, and convention centers can submerge. And when you and your characters finally do make it out alive, you can clearly see the fuck that they've been going through as they instantly collapse, panting, shaking, and dripping with desolation. But you have to push on. Even if they're struggling to walk properly, there will always be a safe point somewhere nearby, where you can then spend an hour fucking with your garbage inventory. So, besides the fact that your menu contains a dedicated hug button, the actual interface and inventory suck pissing fuck. For one, the whole thing's laggy ass dicks and puts a 1-second delay on each button press, but the layout is also dumb, as sharing items with other characters is done through its own menu instead of it being done from the main item list itself, or because of how certain equipable items like the flashlight or umbrella aren't listed under equip but under item, as equip is exclusively for clothing. Ignoring that all of this makes even simple scrolling a pain in the pengus, I'd argue that the main reason of why this shit sucks is due to the amount of time you'll actually be spending here. Thing is that the entire item system is weight-based. Wait. Gone is the nifty little 3D RE4 style menu of the first game, and in is a laggy mess of loose lists all adding to the same weight bar. Which wouldn't have even been all that bad if the pick-uppables were limited to clothes only and the alt puzzle item, but Raw Danger has its own cooking and crafting system, all requiring post-DayZ The Last of Us level of pick-upable gunk. Even the simple act of making a pot noodle means that you need to have a fucking frying pan, which is 1 pip gone, the noodles themselves costing you another pip, and also a fucking propane canister to ignite the save point, which counts as another 3 or 4 pips in and of itself. Now, let's say that you have about 8 total pips and that you are already carrying some adhesive tape and a garbage bag to be able to craft some shit with, your clothing, which, yes, counts even as you're wearing it, and something kind of essential like a flashlight or whatever. Yeah. Do you see why this is an issue? Quite often, picking up a plot-crucial item like a crank to open up a gate with involved me having to drop just about half of what I just listed, including the cute little Santa skirt that I was saving for my reunion with girl. Dropping an item means that it's completely gone as well, by the way. This ain't no RE0 where shit'll stick around on the floor like a real life. That actually would have fixed the fuck of a whole lot, but no. All you get is an item box that only manages to show up in areas where you don't ever need it, and it's impossible to travel between locations freely because plot progression. It's cumbersome, dumb, and it sucks. And while I do appreciate the attempt at realism here, it is quite blatantly clear that they did not balance the game accordingly. Disaster Report was a good game that looked and played like a bad game, but Raw Danger is somehow a great game that just so happens to look and play like a god-awful terrible one. The frame rate rarely reaches 30, the lighting is easily among the worst I've ever seen, and the water straight up looks like that one GTA 4 Tsunami mod. Yet, somehow, all dialogue is completely voiced all the way down to the generic NPCs, which is crazy considering the sheer breadth of optional paths, events, and areas what this game has. Of course, the audio design and sound mixing are impressively bad, but the actual voice acting itself, against all odds, is good. Corny, yeah, but good. All the characters in this are like actual fucking characters. There's crazy epic betrayals, plot twists, and pretty adorable romances.
Afraid of lightning? It's okay. You're safe with me.
And I really started to care for these people as I kept bumping into them around the city, both as Josh and as the others. Fucking chef man and old lady man and eccentric doctor man all had their own distinct personas that developed over time, and they also had at least one or two optional scenes or areas dedicated to them just to fill them in a bit more. The story overall is a lot more about personal plight as well. Less hokey villain trying to rig the system to create a man-made disaster, and more just nature actually losing its shit and how the people within said shit are forced to go with it whilst also trying to sort out whatever it was that they were doing prior. Like trying to prove your innocence or tracking down a certain someone just to be able to deliver them one last message. It's surprisingly engaging and pulled off well due to how shit intertwines throughout all of the separate campaigns. And yeah, sure, it's not gonna make you cry or whatever, but I was undeniably invested as the game plot twisted and love triangled its fucking ass off. And while it is far too jank for its own good, perhaps, all of what I just mentioned, as well as the genuinely neat gameplay features and set pieces, make exploring GeoCity worth it all the way.